Welcome back to MSNBC. I'm Nicole Pellegrino. Last week, President Obama held a press conference at James Madison University in Harrisonburg, Virginia, where he renewed his 2014 State of the Union call to raise the national minimum wage to $10.10 an hour in hopes that Republican Senate and House leaders would now answer in favor of the initiative. The president's speech highlighted the many national benefits of equal opportunity pay to all Americans as demonstrated through recent business, city, and state-based wage implementations and progress. The president also utilized this event to promote individual awareness of congressional candidates' stances on the wage debate in light of the upcoming November election.
I call upon you all to ask your congressperson and all those running where they stand on the minimum wage. Supporting an increase is akin to supporting American values.
Republican House Speaker John Boehner and Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell followed Obama's call with still strict opposition to the initiative.
The minimum wage is nothing more than a political football being used in the debate for the upcoming midterms for President Obama and his folks running for U.S. Senate.
During his press conference, President Obama expressed his frustration toward the Republicans in Congress who are disagreeing with this motion to raise minimum wage. He outlined various critical reasons the minimum wage should be increased, including increased productivity of workers, reduced employee turnover, injecting more money into the economy, lifting millions of families out of poverty, and overall a better quality of life for a predicted 28 million Americans.
But Republicans in Congress have not answered the call. However, I am not giving up the fight. That is why I'm again renewing the call I made to give America a raise.
We believe that this is not a federal issue. This is a sovereign country, and we have an amendment, the 10th Amendment, that reserves states' rights. And I believe in democracy.
Unlike the federal government, the states cannot just print money. Whenever they need funding for an initiative or a program, it has to come from somewhere.
Well, firstly, it's an issue of fairness. I don't consider it fair to have some states granting their lower wage workers a higher wage and then some states not doing that.
Throughout the press conference, there seemed to be a large concern for small businesses and how raising the minimum wage would affect them. The Senate and House of Representatives teams put forth compelling arguments against the minimum wage increase in the defense of small businesses. McConnell pointed out that the decision to pay employees above the minimum wage should tie into the cost of living and should be left up to the small business owners and the states. The White House team refuted these arguments with claims that the minimum wage would in fact not harm small businesses, but help them to excel.
Small business owners would be crippled by these new bureaucratic increases. And small businesses around the nation employ more people and produce more opportunities for economic growth and development than any other business.
What we really need to focus on is the fact that a lot of, the majority of America is a part of small-town America, small-town businesses, and they can't afford to do that.
Reporters questioned Obama about the Congressional Budget Office projection that over 500,000 jobs would be lost when the minimum wage increase takes effect and how this would ultimately affect small businesses.
58% of small business owners, which is that's the big concern, is how is it going to affect small business. 58% of small business owners believe raising the minimum wage is going to benefit consumer purchasing power, will improve employee morale, and will help the economy.
So far, 13 states and the District of Columbia have answered the call and taken action to the president's initiative to raise minimum wage. Over the coming months, we will see the turnout of whether or not Republicans and individual states respond to the president's executive order and agree to raise the minimum wage. President Obama made it apparent that he was not going to give up on this issue and would proceed to move forth with the bill, with or without the consent of Congress. I'm Nicole Pellegrino, and from all of us here at MSNBC, have a good evening.